Okay, ready when you are, Alex?
Hello, I am Alex Edwards, and this is my planning presentation for the FNP Media Level 2. Just run you through my first idea. It's called Doorways. The genre is psychological / mystery. Name of the character is James Gray. Basically, the first idea is going to be about James Gray, kind of an everyman. You know, he's not really excels at anything specific. He's just kind of, you know, he gets on with life as it comes. But one day he wakes up in his bedroom, normal day, starts off his normal day, and when he gets dressed and all that kind of stuff, and he goes through his door, he ends up in a completely different place than his house, like just like a rooftop. I haven't decided where I want to go, but somewhere just nondescript and just random. And obviously be confused about that. But the whole point of it is to try and get the audience to think, is it a dream or is it actually happening? So I want to kind of get that theme going, underline, like, and every time he goes through another door, the place gets stranger and darker and, you know, more like it messes with your head. I haven't decided the audience, but I'm guessing the audience will be, it won't be young, it won't be a young audience. It'd be like 15 and over, you know, because not kids could be interested in that. So basically, yeah, that's my first idea. Do I just tap it? Yeah. Right, so this is a mood board I made for it. I looked at movies like Inception, the others, just basically psychological stuff. They represent, you know, stuff like that. Oh, and a bit of horror, mixing a bit of horror with it as well. Not too much, kind of like a thriller, not like a full-blown horror, but right. So that's that. Right. The second idea is a lot less fleshed out because it was just kind of a throwaway one. It's also a psychological, but it's a crime. The characters in it: John Blue. A man about 28 years old, very depressed, fed up with life, and he doesn't sleep. He has like a disorder. He doesn't sleep, so he like sees things and stuff. And then the other guy, this whole idea is about how he's broke. He doesn't have any money, and this other guy's after him for money he owes. The other guy is called Bob Jones. He's very angry. Has a lot of problems. That he likes to hide his feelings from the world and likes to make people's lives difficult. So the idea is basically where he starts off at a cash machine, puts his card in, there's nothing in his account, and when he comes back out, he walks along the road, and Bob Jones sees him, and there's a chase scene that happens. And towards the end, when he's running past dark alleyways, you'll see like shadows and shit like that in the corner and that. So yeah, and eventually towards the end it kind of like it loops back around. It starts from the beginning. Well, I don't know how I want to do that yet, but that's that. Right, okay, so the mood boards obviously of crime films. It's going to be, you know, it was a big, you know, inspiring thing for this idea, and obviously the psychological bit and a bit of horror. The crime keeps it interesting, but the psychology keeps it even more interesting, I think. You know, you don't want to lose people's interest if it's just another crime film. So yeah, that's that. Right, the idea 3 is another throwaway kind of one, but it's I wanted to do a documentary because it's kind of like I like learning about history. So I thought I'd be really good at that. So basically, it's just a short documentary about World War II, about the basic knowledge about how it started, what went on throughout, you know, 1939 to 1945. Just a brief overview, nothing specific, like what conflicts went on, who was winning at the time, what state the countries were in, and general things like that. And obviously, towards the inevitable end of the war as well. So, mood boards, obviously representing World War II, and the conflicts that happened there, and political things. Also about talking about how talking about Hitler or Stalin, and you know how they obviously were a massive part of it. Right. Okay. So this is my chart. Is it a charter? Yeah, my charter. So this is my charter. So obviously I've allocated these 2 weeks for the ideas. You know, it doesn't really take you too long to come up with 3 ideas, and then I can't actually read that. But yeah, I've dedicated a lot of a big chunk of all the pre-production work here because I need to get it. I can get it done at home, so I cannot get it done within the same week. And then the filming is pretty easy as well. It can all be done within the same week. It won't take a long time to do that. The editing as well won't take a long time. I can get that done within a week. And as well, and then for the last week will be the presentation and the self-evaluation for the last week.
Cool. Which idea are you leaning towards? Which idea do you prefer out of the 3?
I prefer the first one because it's a lot more fleshed out and I've had it for a while, so I feel more confident using that idea than the rest of them.
I agree as well. I think the first idea is probably your strongest idea and probably the most simplest one to execute. And it can be quite interesting depending on how
it depends how I film it.
Obviously, contextually, you've probably looked at like Inception, and you've probably looked at some of the stuff that Christopher Nolan has done because of his work in the psychological field. What I would really like you to do is maybe watch things like Memento, watch maybe Inception again, and just look at the way certain scenes are filmed and look at the way this whole notion of dreams and sequences and stuff like that, the way it's illustrated, see how you can explore that even further. Have you thought about the sort of effects you'd like to put in?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'd like to put subtle effects in to like really make you think if it is, something going on in his head or if it is real life. Very, very not bright but very highlighted colours and stuff like that. I don't know about effects, but obviously I'll need to do some kind of camera work with the doors or whatever I can, so it flows quite well. So no, I haven't. Yeah, there's going to be some effects, but not many.
Have you thought about like the narrative and how the narrative is going to play out? Do you think it's going to be linear? Do you think it's going to be circular? Like, how do you think it's going to evolve?
I'll hopefully be circular. Hopefully towards the end, when he's going through a couple of doors, he ends up back in his room eventually. And then maybe he wakes up or something like that, like it's all been a dream or it hasn't. I want to kind of have an ambiguous ending, like is it real or is it wasn't, that's the kind of thing.
Good, okay. Obviously, I think what you need to do is you need to develop the character a bit more.
Yeah, obviously.
In terms of his traits. Like the little things he does, like for example, he might have a tick, for example, or he might have a particular way of doing things, or like in the room there may be lots of a certain colour.
Certain items like just hot,
like in the bedroom in his original scene, he might have a vase, and that vase may show up in the other room. Just little things like that will really make it, I think. But I think idea 1 is your strongest. I think it's really interesting. I like the way you've planned out your schedule. I think you've given yourself plenty of time to do everything. The only thing I am a bit concerned about is your editing and your filming is all going to be done in 1 week.
1 week.
So you have set yourself a bit of a challenge there, but I can see that you've allocated an extra week to pre-production, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But what I think you could do is maybe try to speeding up the pre-production process just so that it gives you that bit of extra time, because if you need to refilm and do any reshoots, or if you need to go capture Foley or anything like that, then it can give you that bit of extra time to do that. But other than that, Alex, well done. Stick to idea 1, and I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, cheers, thank you very much.